Hey butterflies, welcome back to Evolving Butterfly Goddess with me, Moe Nicole. Here we are all about evolving out loud in our life, our money, and our purpose through the energy of our ancestors. I want to thank you for your likes, your comments, your shares, and your subscribes here on the channel. It's always appreciated. And a major shout out to all the channel members, as well as the members over on my website. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your continued support here on the channel. It is always appreciated, my loves. And thank you to everyone who has purchased any of my books or things from off of Amazon. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we're getting into a really quick reading that I felt like I really had to, get out. And I wanted to go live again, but I was like, I think I'm just going to save that for another day because I want to finish getting this presentation together for class tomorrow with the butterflies. And we're going over healing trauma with your mom. And one thing that I've been noticing, and Spirit told me that there are some people in the collective who could benefit from this energy, but this sense of being born into a family that like you don't fit in, right? So you feel like this black sheep, you feel like you don't fit in, family be doing whatever they be doing, okay? And you just don't resonate with the family, okay? You don't resonate with the family. And some of you all went through some really difficult things with your family, okay? And trust me, if you knew my history and my backstory, you would probably look a little different. And I'm not about to, we're not going to trauma bond. It's not the purpose of the session. But to say the energy that I'm feeling is someone who went through some real hard things to the point where it's been hard to forgive a person or move on from a situation, okay? And something that I've done that helps me when it comes to healing through those disappointing moments or bad situations is I think to what could have potentially happened to this person to make them act in this way, right? And then eventually I start feeling bad for them. And then in me feeling the sense of like feeling bad for them that they got to that point, I'm able to forgive. And then I forgive myself for like, okay, I could see how, it could be easy to kind of fall for this thing, right? And so same thing for like family. I remember when I was faced with my first, what's the word I can use? I know YouTube be on some stuff with the first violator, okay? And it was actually at my great grandmother's funeral. And I had an anxiety attack. And so having to find new ways of looking at like, okay, what could have he have gone through to cause him to do some of the things that he did? And then seeing his life at that point, like he was literally suffering at that time, like heart problems, just all types of stuff was going on. And it helped me get through the funeral. You know what I'm saying? Because that was my first time ever having to see him again. And so it's giving this energy of sometimes in order to forgive, you just gotta feel bad for them. Like realize like, dang, how low or how hurt or how bad of a situation would push you to just do some stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? To disassociate. Someone needs to kind of disassociate and really feel bad for the people, you know what I'm saying, as a way to help you move forward from what has happened with them or what you have experienced. Healing isn't linear. It's not something that just goes like this. Healing is like, oh, you up, down, and the dips, and then you go backwards and you come back. You know what I'm saying? That's the process of healing. And one that helped me a lot is the aspect of changing the perception of the person who hurt me. What could they have possibly been dealing with to cause them to treat someone such as me like that, right? And you may find that to help you a lot. If you find yourself having things that it's hard to forgive other people for, especially family, you know. I recently saw something online, and they were talking about how, you know, someone had made them bathe in their dirty bath water. And I had, you know I'm saying, some flashbacks to a family member who made, you know I'm saying, me bathe in bath water after other people as well. And, you know, just looking back in hindsight, and it's like, yeah, that was traumatizing and triggering. You know what I'm saying? But in hindsight, learning why that person had the mindset towards things the way they did, what they had gone through, you know what I'm saying? Like, it made me look at them a little bit more of like, oh, like, dang, that sucks. You know what I'm saying? But then not being like, oh, now you're this person that I gotta, you know, it's like, oh, dang, that sucks. Like, that it turned you to be such a person like that. I could never be that. You know what I'm saying? To remind myself that I'm not that. I'm not who hurt me. I'm not who has done something to me. You know what I'm saying? And the collective, when it comes to healing, especially when it comes to our parents, a lot of us, you know, harbor a lot of unforgiveness, you know, for our parents in a lot of ways. And this is coming from someone who has gone through a lot of trauma with their parents, both, okay? And finding a middle ground, finding a way to be able to balance it, finding a new way to look at it and approach it and understand what their thought process could have been, to make them do certain things or act a certain type of way, right? But I separate myself from them. And we have to separate ourselves from the people who have hurt us, especially when it's family. We have to separate ourselves from them. Even if it's just a sense of separating yourself mentally, you know what I'm saying? Of telling yourself, you know, sometimes people keep a mental bond with, you know, toxic situations by, like, you know, they'll say to themselves, oh, this is family. I have to keep this relationship going. This is, you know, all I have. This is the best it's going to be. No one's going to love me like them. Like, you know, these different thoughts and feelings that it's just like, dang, if I walk away from my family, then what? Without remembering, like, family can be created. You can always create a whole new family. Okay? We saw that with a lot of toxic elders back in the day. Okay? You can always create a whole new family. And that whole, you know, blood is thicker than water phrase, it's time to throw that out, okay? It's time to throw that out. 919 on the time. Let's go to 919 in my angel number book. Angel number 919 is a message from your spirit guides that appears when you are going through a personal transition in your life, and you need to make sure you have compassion and patience for yourself as you go through this process. This personal transition, the energy of what is being felt, is this transition of completely becoming independent and separate from what you've always known. As you're going through this transformation in your life right now, other people around you are not going, you know, whether if it's at the same pace or going through similar transformations as you at this time. And it's not saying that you separating from them now, like you're never gonna, you know, reunite again. But this space of where you're at now, it's important for the growth. You know what I'm saying? It's important for the growth. And so, like it was just saying, have compassion for yourself in this process, because a lot of yourself is going, you know, you're going to find yourself sometimes being upset with yourself when you think about different memories or situations and be like, well, why did I allow myself to be this way, or to go through this, or allow this to happen to me? You know what I'm saying? We got to go through that process of it all. in order to be reminded that, you know, we make decisions based off of our current, you know, perception and connection to everything. And when we're not at our best selves, you know, when we're still in a hurt place, when we're still in a lacking, you know what I'm saying, energy place, it can make it difficult for us to be able to, you know, do the things that we really need to do in that moment. And so it just kind of slows the process down, because eventually you're going to get there. It's just that it slows the process down, you know. And so this energy of healing family wounds, I'm going to be honest, the airing out what happened and all of that, and you know, I've done and experienced a lot of it. Sometimes it can feel a little counterproductive when we talk about it, keep talking about it, and we can give ourselves the power back by not giving it the energy. You know, every time we talk about it, we're giving energy to that thing and the people who were involved in that thing. But if we stop talking about it, stop giving it energy, it's like that person, that thing just doesn't exist, and you're moving on and taking, you know what I'm saying, the power back over your life. And there's nothing wrong with sharing what you've gone through, right? But it's when it gets to the point where it's a continuous thing, it keeps coming up, keeps coming up, keeps coming up. As soon as you get triggered, or as soon as things happen, it comes up, it comes up, it comes up, which is just, you know, a reminder to kind of let you know that, you know, you haven't healed from something just yet. You haven't gotten past it just yet. You know what I'm saying? We got to pay attention to those triggers, because sometimes there's things that we feel that we're over, but we're not all the way over. You know what I'm saying? Definitely when it comes to trauma. And there's a lot of family trauma that's out there right now. It's a lot of family trauma that's out there right now. A lot of people hurting, some hurting in silence. But it's like, if you need to get it out in your journal, process it out through your journal. Okay, you don't need anyone, you know, because a lot of the things on the internet, you know, it is to connect with other people who may go through things that you're going through as well. But it provides a sense of confirmation and affirmation. But you don't always need that. You know what I'm saying? You don't always need that for everything. You got to know what you feel. You got to know what you went through. You got to know what you experienced. And you don't need the validation from anyone. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to your healing and how you're healing. And so, I don't know. It's just, I wanted to really just talk about this a little bit tonight. For anyone who may be feeling like they're healing from some family wounds, or some relationships in the family that it was really toxic, you know what I'm saying, and things that happened to you. And, you know, 1313 on the time, it's just a sense of you have to re-identify and redefine what happened. Redefine what has happened. And if you got to start feeling bad for that person, try that. That helps me. That helps me. Because I'll go, as I've read more like psychoanalytical books and things of that nature, and learning like the psychology of the brain and what would get a person to do certain things. And I'll just be like, it sucks to be someone whose brain never developed properly, and so they're stuck. Like, I will literally just sit and just, you know, but it helps make sense of it, and it helps me get through the trauma, because most times we want to know why this happened, why this happened, you know, and we won't always get the answer. We won't always get the apologies. We won't always get the things that we really seek and want from it. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why it's good to be able to, find a way to redefine and re-identify with it, to turn it all around, you know. And so, yeah, that's the vibe with this one. You're not your family. You're not your earthly family. You're not your earthly family. You are literally connected to a cosmic family who are going through similar things, working through similar things as you, okay? You are not alone. You're not alone, in the words of Michael Jackson. It's like everyone is dealing with their own things in their own ways. But know that you have a community of energies that are working to change their story and how they view their story and how they tell their story, just like you. And that collective energy is going to continue helping. Okay? But that's the vibe that I have for this video. I guess Spirit didn't want me to pull any tarot cards. Let's get a moonology. Take time to breathe out. That's that trauma. Breathing out, letting it out. That's the energy after the full moon, which is now. So, get connected, Pooh. I love you all, and as always be real, always be true. Don't be afraid to do what you want to do, period. And as always, continue to bloom, my loves.